Welcome back to Wicked Gingerbread. On today's breakfast, I'm going to give you a couple options. They both involve fruit and yogurt, but there's a couple differences. These are just seeds to plant, ideas for you. Don't forget to subscribe and like if you like the video. And as always, please leave some comments on if you're actually trying the recipes, what you think of them, what you think of my videos, any suggestions. So let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do, I've started with 2 containers with about a cup of non-fat Greek yogurt. So that's kind of the base. What I'm making is a fruit parfait, 2 different kinds. So in this one, I'm going to, the base to all of these is the yogurt. So then in this one, I'm going to add, I'm going to make it almost like a cheesecake. I'm going to add Jello, sugar, is a sugar-free and fat-free cheesecake, and I'm going to put a half of a tablespoon in. Then I'm also going to put half of a tablespoon of chia seeds. That's going to make it thicken up even more. I'm going to put a pinch of nutmeg. You can experiment with whatever seasonings you like. I'm just going to put a pinch, kind of give it a little kick. And then I'm going to put the raspberries. And then a little splash of almond milk, or whatever your unsweetened milk of choice is. I prefer the non-dairy. And then we're going to stir this up, and if you leave this overnight in the fridge, it thickens it up. And you can take it on the go. You can leave it, you can make them ahead. You can make 2 or 3 of them in the fridge and then just grab them as needed in the morning, so you don't have to worry about it. And the second one is going to be same base. We've got the yogurt base, about a cup. And then I like the combination of fresh ginger with pear. So I've got the fresh ginger and I've got the pear. About a cup of pear. And then in this one, I'm actually going to add protein powder of your choice. I chose vanilla because it's going to kind of give it, again, kind of a cheesecake taste. So I'm putting 1 tablespoon of the vanilla powder. I always put chia. It thickens it up and it adds omega-3s. And then the same thing with this, just a splash of the almond milk. And then you'll want to just stir it up. And then the last thing that you'll do is you choose something very nice, a whole grain to serve it with. Right here I have avocado toast, and I'm going to put a little everything but the bagel seasoning on it. And then I have almond butter on toast, and I'm going to put a little pumpkin pie spice on that. Again, this is all preference. And now for the bread, what I recommend is using something like Dave's Killer Good Seed. This only has between 60 or 70 calories a slice, but it has so much nutrients. So I hope this gave you some good ideas for breakfast. Stay tuned, we have lunch coming up. Welcome to the lunch portion of this video. For the lunch today, we are making chicken, artichoke, mushroom, jalapeno pizzas. Sounds complicated, but it's very healthy and very easy. So we're going to start off with, again, my little friend Joseph's pita. It only has 60 calories for a pita, and it has actual nutrients. It has protein, it has calcium, some iron, so I highly recommend these. You can also, for any kind of pizzas, you can also use the flat outs. They're really nice, they're flat, they're healthy, only 90 calories, and you get a bigger size for that. So what I did was I took the one Joseph's pita, well actually a whole tray of them. This recipe makes about 6 to 8, depends on how much you want to put on each pizza. So the first thing you want to do is preheat your oven to 400 degrees. And then I lightly toast these pitas just for a couple minutes. Just don't do what I did, and actually I burned the first batch. They burn really quickly. So what you want to do is just lightly toast one side, pull them out, flip them over, and then we're going to work on the topping. So in this topping, just regular canned artichoke hearts. You want to rinse them and cut them. So the smaller the bite-sized pieces, the better. And then canned or jarred Alfredo sauce. Now you want to look for, they're not all created equal. You want to look for one, this one only has 50 calories per serving. Some of them are double that or triple that. So this is Newman's Own, but you also can get Prego. Just read the labels, become a label reader. So I have some of Alfredo sauce, and I also threw in some mushrooms. Just again, try to slice everything about the same thickness so that it all cooks even. And I highly recommend that you pre-make some chicken breast. I have some chicken breast in here, about a cup per every 2 pitas. So you want to just chop up the chicken to match the same size as the mushrooms. So in here I have Alfredo sauce, the artichoke hearts, mushrooms, and the chicken. So what I'm going to do is, I've already toasted one side of the pita. So then I'm going to just simply top it and kind of spread the toppings out. And then for each pita, try to find a mozzarella cheese or cheese of your liking that has 80 calories or less per 1/4 of a cup. That's what this is just a regular Myers brand. Kroger has some good ones. So you can measure these. I highly recommend that you measure. I have a little weight measurement electronic scale. So when I do these, I actually measure it out. But you get pretty good at eyeballing. I'm trying to get about a 1/4 of a cup on each pita. So if you make 8 of these, it's going to be a 1/4 of a cup times 8. For 8 of them, you could use 1 jar and 1 can. And make sure you have 8 pitas ready to go. So then once I've got the cheese on it, now you can omit these, but I have also sliced some fresh jalapeno. And so this would be ready to bake. And here's what it turns out like. And I would recommend pairing it with either, I paired it with some organic grapes. You could pair it with carrot sticks, whatever produce that you enjoy. And that would make a really nice lunch. Now these will freeze, but if you freeze them, you want to make sure that you have it single file. Don't freeze them on top of each other because they stick together and they won't reheat. But I have a bunch of these in the freezer at all times, and pull it out. You could have 2 of them for dinner, or you could have 1 of them for lunch, and it's a really decent, healthy portion. You want to start with the lettuce of your choice. I like power greens because it allows you to get some dark greens, leafy greens in. But you could use romaine or a salad mix, or spinach, whatever you have on hand. So that's going to be your base. You just pick a nice sized bowl because you're going to fill it up. And this recipe is really versatile because whatever vegetables you like, you can use for this. Now I wanted to talk about the meat. This is actually, today is going to be a vegan. I am using chorizo crumbles, which are a non-meat, and it still has that chorizo taste, meaty taste, and you just heat it up. Instead, you could also still do a vegetarian or vegan option with just using black beans. I'm also going to include black beans. This is going to be like a big protein powerhouse. So once you have established your base, if you don't want to do a vegetarian, by the way, I've talked about this in past videos, but it's a really good idea to have some pre-made. This is just chicken breast, boneless, skinless. Throw it in the oven, forget about it for about 10 minutes. Or this is taco meat, lean ground turkey or chicken, and you just season it with taco seasoning. You could even throw some mushrooms in. But I always have some little baggies in the freezer, so dinner takes about 2 seconds. So once you have your little salad base, I have pre-chopped some onions of your choice, some peppers, jalapeno, and tomatoes. And you want to just put them on the salad. You can put them in little piles, or you can just dump the whole thing onto the bowl. Looks really pretty. You've got all the different colors. And they say to eat with colors because each color represents a different vitamin. So I'm going to also put about 1/4 cup of corn. And I'm going to put 1/4 cup of black beans. And again, this is to taste. You can use more or less. I like a little crunch. So something I put on tacos or my taco bowl is shredded cabbage. It's inexpensive and it has a lot of flavor and crunch and vitamins. You just want to use a nice salsa of your choice. And then I'm going to put a little bit of the crumbles on, the vegetarian crumbles. And I think we're going to squirt a little lime. You don't have to do it. A little cilantro, if you like cilantro. And then I'll put a little lime wedges on the side. And here's one of my secret weapons. This is Ortega Taco Ranch. Now, it does have 35 calories per serving, which isn't too bad, but it adds a ton of flavor. So I'm going to just lightly drizzle that. And the last step, this is optional as well. I serve a little bit of tortillas on the side. And then just for a little more crunch, a little more texture, I usually crumble a few on top. And that is about a 5 to 10 minute dinner taco bowl. Here's what it looks like finished. You just serve it with a little side of And I just wanted to say thanks again. I hope you're finding this beneficial. Please have fun with cooking. It's not meant to be like another job. We all have our regular job. We all have our regular responsibilities. So let's cook and just have some fun. And I just wanted to say thank you so much for tuning into my channel. Please don't forget to subscribe. And the little bell, if you click the little bell, you'll get notifications. I'm going to start uploading these once a week. And I have a ton of fall favorites coming. Pumpkin chili, I'm going to have some dessert segments. So stay tuned for that.